Hey, Sean, good morning. How are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Appreciate your time. Um, so since we last talked, obviously new offensive coordinator. I guess how would you kind of describe what Coach Yursich has been like? How would you describe his offense?
I mean, he's a fiery guy, and I think that a lot of people have talked about it, but he is somebody who, as he says, brings the juice every day. Um, he's never short of it, and he's just been really inspiring to this offense, giving us a lot of optimism, and it just made us all excited to be here, excited to really come into work every single day. Um, and I think that's what we need, honestly. So I'm very excited to be coached by Coach Jursich and excited for the future.
Rich Scarcella.
Sean, thanks for doing this. First of all, does it get easier or harder to adjust to a new OC since you've had a lot of experience doing it? Is it easier or harder for you?
Um, I don't know if it's easier or harder. Obviously, you develop a relationship with somebody, and then when they come and go, you you just have to adjust. So, I had a lot of love for Coach Shiraka, and now that he's gone, I'm developing a new relationship with Coach Jursich, like I said, and it's neither like I'm not sad about it, I'm not mad about it or whatever. I'm just kind of it's just the way it goes right now. So, and I'm enjoying every minute being coached by him. He's a great coach. Like I said, he's very inspiring, and at the same time, he makes me want to come to work every day. And that's what we've been doing. We've been working.
Tyler Donahue.
Good morning, Sean. Good to hear from you. Is it strange to look around this quarterback room and realize just how further along in your career you are than the other guys there? It always seems like there's been someone else who's played more than you or someone else who's played a lot. With Taquan and Christian, they're still really looking for their first major game action. What does that do for you responsibilities as a leader, as a tone setter? And how do you see those guys working to improve and challenge you?
Yeah, I take that as an opportunity, honestly, because the main goal for me is not to focus on myself all the time. So the main goal for me currently, especially with the young guys in our room, is to give them as much knowledge, as much power, and kind of feed them as much information as I can that would be helpful for them in the future. So I've been grinding with them on the board, in the film room, just making sure that we go over every look that they might get in practice, and then talking about games. Just a little bit of everything currently, trying to push them as much as I can. Taekwon's doing a really good job. Just playing within the system and making big plays at the same time. And then Christian's doing a really good job. He's a smart guy. He's been learning a lot, and it's impressive to see his development so quickly as a true freshman. So, I appreciate both those guys, and then also Mason Stahl, our walk on as well. He's been doing a really really good job of playing within the system, knowing everything about the offense just as well as I do, and pushing everybody. And I think that's the main goal right now is for everybody to push each other, to make this room as talented and as clean as it needs to be.
Mark Brennan.
Sean, we've heard from other players and some of the coaches, and even Coach Galt, about the energy level that Coach Yursich brings out on the practice field. Can you tell us about that and maybe give us some examples of it? Thank you.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, he's a fiery guy. He makes you excited to come to work, and he makes you just want to be there. So I guess it's really hard to just give an example because there's just been so many times, and it's really just every single day, just the way he talks, the way he commands a room. He's not a thermometer. He's a thermostat. When he walks in, he changes the temperature of the room, and it inspires me as well as a leader to learn from that, to learn about how he makes sure that when he's talking, everybody's listening. When we're going over a concept, we need to know every little detail of the concept. And I think that's what every great OC needs to do. And I think that like I said, he's doing a really great job. I really appreciate him so far, and just excited for the future.
Tobias Wilborn.
Sean, how was your relationship continue to develop with the receiver group, particularly Dotson and Parker Washington and Lambert Smith?
Yeah, I would say last year was definitely it was a weird year in general, but Jahan obviously had been here, but with Parker and Keandre and Dotton and the list kind of goes on with the new guys. I really didn't get to meet them or throw to them until fall camp because we were separated because of COVID, and then we were in different camps, and then we were practicing differently, and we had to just deal with so many things that I the first time that I actually threw to Parker, it's funny. I went back and watched. The first time that I threw to Parker was actually the 2 weeks before the first game, I think. Was the first time that I really got a bunch of reps with them, and it makes you appreciate this time now even more. The spring ball. It makes you appreciate getting in with them in the summer, and I think the guys really realize that now, including myself. I took advantage of it, but I think that everybody understands now. Every single day that we come in, we got to work and we got to make sure that we're improving on something. And I think that it was taken for granted before, but I'll assure you now that it is not being taken granted for right now.
Corey Geiger.
Sean, along those same lines, you get to have spring ball now to learn a new offense. You didn't get to have spring ball last year. Just what are the advantages? And was last year a disadvantage as you look back on it now, having to learn everything through the Zoom calls?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the spring ball is where you really develop your team. You develop, you go through the offense, especially with the new offense like we have now. Just working through the kinks, you're going to mess up. And it's nice to be able to mess up in a practice and be like, and then break down the film and be like, hey, this is why you should have done this, or he should break his route here, or we need to hit the hole here. Where last year, that was after the Indiana game, that was after the Ohio State game. We were going over these new things that just come up, and it hurt us in the beginning. So as it did a lot of teams, but us not having spring ball. It taught me a lot about, just preparation and what you need to do from a personal level and a team level to get ready for a game. Excuse me. And so, yeah, I think that, spring ball is critical in the development of myself, my teammates, especially the younger guys, and just the chemistry of the whole team.
Joe Giuliano.
John, could you describe what your first meeting with Coach Yurcich was like?
The first meeting was pretty light because he was with his family, so he introduced everybody. It was over Zoom, and he's a family guy. He seemed really really nice on the first meeting. Not saying that he's not nice now, but he's definitely got a hard side to him at some points, but I'm learning to appreciate the balance that he brings. He'll come into a meeting, we'll have some fun, but then when you got to be serious, and he'll be as serious as it needs to be, and he keeps everybody on their toes, responsible, and I think that's benefiting our room a lot, especially with some young guys in our room. And myself as well, just needing that right now. I think that everybody's benefiting.
Greg Pickle.
John, good morning. I'm just curious, in what ways have you changed or improved as a quarterback between the end of the 2020 regular season and now?
I'd say a lot. I honestly just the development throughout the 2020 year, because it was definitely a difficult year for everybody, including myself. I learned so many things just about leadership and hard work and just staying the course. Honestly, just from all those experiences, I've just piled up into my memory bank, and just how to deal with certain situations on and off the field. And I think that it just kind of grew me as a man more than it did as a player, just like the whole year itself. I feel truly like grown up through the sport now. Like, I understand times of adversity. I've had both now. I've had, triumph and trials. And I appreciate every single bit of it throughout my whole career. But it's not even close to being over yet, so I'm excited for what lies in the future.
P. Frank.
Hey, Sean, I'm just noticing kind of the way you talk about Mike Yurcich. Sounds like he's fiery, he's passionate, he cares deeply. It kind of sounds like you, the way that you've been as a player on the field. And, do you feel like the two of you fit well together in that aspect?
Yeah, I do. It's funny that you bring that up, just because I think the same way. And it's also funny just because we'll butt heads because we're just so similar. So you see it in the meetings. I mean, you can ask any of the other quarterbacks too. Like, I'll just be talking just because I want to express my point, and then he'll want to talk too, and so it kind of just goes both ways sometimes. But I think it's a really good relationship, like I said so far. It's fun, and we're kind of learning that balance within the room. What when he wants to enjoy ourselves. We've gone out to dinner or whatever, and we've had a lot of experiences so far with him that's definitely going to help our room. And when we're casual, but when we're working, we are working. And I think that that's how I am. Like you said, I'm a fiery guy. I enjoy the passion that football brings, and I think that Coach Yurcich would say the same.
David Melandra.
Hey, Sean, two questions for you. One, what could you take away from last season? And secondly, how did you handle being benched during the season and able to bounce back?
Yeah. So the first one, I would say, like I said, just learning how to deal with the trials and tribulations, and just throughout a whole season, and be able to kind of maneuver through all that, because it's not going to be all sunshines and rainbows every single play, every single game, and you got to be able to handle that adversity day in and day out. So I think that that's kind of what I learned the most. Like I said, I kind of grew up more last year, and it really taught me a lot of lessons throughout just like life in general. And looking back on to your second question, looking back on when I got benched, I'm really proud of the way that I handled it personally, and I'm very thankful for my teammates as well, because they had my back through it all. And it was definitely a challenge. Like, I mean, to be benched on national television and for everybody to see, it takes a lot just out of you, because you're that guy. You want to lead your team. You want to be there for everybody. And then the 1 week that you don't have that opportunity, it kind of hurts. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But at the same time, I knew that I had to be there for my teammates and for Will especially. So the next day I didn't come in with any bitterness. I didn't come in with any, oh, woe is me mentality. I honestly just looked at it as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to try to give the team a spark in a different way than I usually do in every week. So It was a challenge, but at the same time, I think that week or two was definitely one of the best experiences I've had in football. And so, yeah.
We'll go to Elton Hayes.
Hey, Sean, appreciate your time this morning. Ideally, I would imagine, quarterbacks would prefer to have the consistency of having one offensive coordinator throughout their career. Yurcich is your third one now. Was wondering what benefits or values do you think there are having, multiple coordinators for yourself? And which ways do you think that's going to help you or benefit you?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it as a bad thing or a good thing. Honestly, I see it as a good thing. I get to learn. It's actually been four: Joe Moorhead, Ricky Ronnie, Kirk Shraka, and now Coach Yurcich here. And it's funny because I have been asked this a bunch lately, and it's just interesting because you look back and some guys, yeah, they might have one guy or two guys, but I've had four offensive minds that I can kind of pick each and every day. And everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different thought process on this concept and that concept and this overall perspective on goals and mindset. And there's just so many things that you can learn from somebody because everybody's different. And obviously, I would say that like you'd like to have a little bit of consistency, but at the same time, I feel like I've taken advantage of every single person that has walked through this building from the offense coordinator perspective. And I think that it's going to benefit myself, my teammates, and just everybody in the long run. As long as we just take it as an opportunity to grow and learn from every person.
Eckert.
Hey, Sean. Obviously, something that Coach Yurcich has a reputation for is bringing a lot of tempo to his offense. I'm wondering how much he's emphasized that with you kind of in the early goings and, what you think that can do for your game. Thanks.
Yeah. He plays with a bunch of different tempos. We're only through practice, 4 or 5 right now. So we haven't, been able to dive into every single concept, every single, tempo. And, we have a lot in right now, but, we're just kind of growing and learning through the offense right now. So I guess it would be hard to almost speak on it currently. But I'm excited to just keep growing, keep learning, and just working.
We have time for 2 more. Tyler Donahue.
Sean, one guy we weren't able to ask you about last time we had one of these calls is your brother, Liam, signing with the program, joining the program later on. You guys had a lot of practice during the quarantine months last year together. What's it mean to you to be actually sharing a football roster here in just a matter of months and maybe throwing the football to your little brother in Big Ten action?
It's amazing. Just the opportunity. I feel so blessed. And he does too, just to be in this position. Because we've thrown the ball together in the backyard, and we've played the neighbors, and we've gotten to pick up basketball and baseball, and we've done all these things, but we've never been on like a true team together because we've been 4 years apart. When he was in grade school and I was in middle school, I moved up to high school, and then he moved up to middle school, and it just kept on going over and over. And we always talked about how it'd be so great to be able to finally play together on the same team. And for that to finally be coming true this year, it makes me just so excited. And I think that it's also going to be good for us from like a work ethic perspective, because we're both the same. And he texts me every day, hey, I want to go over this in the playbook. I want to talk about this part of film or whatever he's watching. And I'm just so excited to finally get him up here, so that way we don't have to text about it and we don't have to FaceTime or whatever. We could just, hop in a room and just watch some tape or throw the ball. And just kind of share those moments that you want with your family, because I obviously, being now in my 5th year, I've just been away from everybody for so long, and it's going to be so cool to have my brother there by my side, just being able to not only just watch some tape, but then come hang out at my house right after. So I can't really express how excited I am about it.
Next question, Audrey Snyder.
Sean, based on, you said that, obviously you guys are still working through the offense. It's early, but based off of what you've seen so far with this offense, I mean, how would you describe it? What does it look like? Because we haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, it's just hard to say just early on, because it's been a new, you install this, you install that. It just kind of, everything's happening so fast, and you're just trying to get every install in, and so it's been definitely exciting. It's a combination of explosiveness and grinding out the ball, and it's kind of everything that you want. So I'm not going to give away too much just yet, because I'm just kind of grinding through it myself. But I'm excited for everybody to see it in the future.